Imagine holding a book no one has ever read. Not because it's rare or fragile, but because no one knows how. Its language doesn't exist in any known record. Its illustrations depict things that don't exist in nature. And for over 600 years, it has resisted every attempt to understand it. This is not fiction. This is real. This is the story of the Voynich Manuscript. A centuries-old mystery that continues to baffle historians, linguists, and scientists alike. What is this book? Who created it? What secrets does it hold? Today, we dive into a riddle that has remained unsolved longer than the Mona Lisa has smiled. Welcome to the greatest literary enigma in history. Our story begins in 1912. Wilfrid Voynich, a Polish-Lithuanian rare book dealer, was browsing through the ancient archives of the Jesuit villa Mondragone near Rome. The estate was selling off part of its collection to raise funds. Among the dusty volumes, Voynich found a manuscript unlike anything he'd ever seen. It was handwritten on fine vellum, about 240 pages long, covered in strange illustrations of plants, symbols, naked women bathing in strange pools, and dozens of star charts. But the most baffling feature? The text, written in a completely unknown script, now famously called Voynichese. He immediately purchased the book and brought it to London. And with that, the manuscript began its modern journey. From a forgotten relic to the most mysterious book in history, the Voynich Manuscript is now housed in the Beinecke Rare Book and Manuscript Library at Yale University, cataloged as MS408. It's surprisingly small, just 23.5 by 16.2 centimeters, about the size of a modern paperback. The pages are thick vellum, parchment made from calfskin. In total, there are around 240 pages, although many are missing and some are foldouts, expanding the page size dramatically. Each page is meticulously detailed, written in a flowing script, consistent across the entire book, surrounded by carefully drawn illustrations of unidentifiable plants, zodiac symbols, female figures, elaborate tubes and baths, and diagrams of stars and suns. The craftsmanship is extraordinary, but so is the confusion it creates. For decades, scholars debated the manuscript's age. Then in 2009, the mystery got a small break. Using carbon-14 dating, scientists at the University of Arizona analyzed the vellum. Their findings? The parchment was created between 1404 and 1438, placing the manuscript squarely in the early Renaissance. But that only raised more questions. Who, during that time, had the knowledge or the imagination to create something so elaborate, so encoded, and so strange? At the heart of the Voynich Manuscript lies its greatest mystery, the text. The entire manuscript is written in a completely unknown language. It's not Latin, Greek, Arabic, Chinese, Hebrew, or anything else known to man. Linguists have dubbed it Voynichese. And here's what makes it so fascinating. The writing has consistent grammar. Words follow predictable patterns, like real language. Letter frequencies match natural languages more than gibberish. But despite all that, no one has been able to read a single sentence. For over a century, experts and amateurs alike have tried and failed. During World War II, some of the best cryptographic minds in the world turned their attention to the manuscript. Among them was William Friedman, the U.S. Army's top codebreaker, who helped crack the Japanese Purple Code. Friedman and his team spent years trying to decipher the Voynich Manuscript. And the result? Failure. They couldn't make sense of it. Friedman concluded the language might be a constructed language, a code designed from scratch. Even the NSA has analyzed it. Still, the book defied all known decryption techniques. If it's a code, it's one that no one has cracked in over 600 years. Thanks to a letter found inside the manuscript, we know a little about its early history. The letter, dated 1666, was written by Johannes Marcus Marci, a Bohemian scientist, to Athanasius Kircher, a Jesuit scholar known for his work on ancient languages. In the letter, Marci says a manuscript once belonged to Emperor Rudolph II of Bohemia, who allegedly paid 600 gold ducats for it. That's the equivalent of hundreds of thousands of dollars today. Rudolph II was known for his fascination with the occult, alchemy, astrology, and the mystical arts. Was the manuscript a secret alchemical guide, a book of lost magic, or something more esoteric? Wilfrid Voynich believed the manuscript was a work of Roger Bacon, a 13th century English philosopher and early scientist. Bacon was a genius, credited with early concepts in optics and mathematics. He was also rumored to have experimented with secret writings and ciphers. This theory gave the manuscript great prestige and made it seem even more mysterious. But carbon dating debunked this. The parchment dates to the 1400s, long after Bacon's death in 1292. Still, the idea that the book had occult origins persisted. The first major section of the manuscript, dubbed the herbal section, contains drawings of plants. But here's the thing, none of these plants exist. Some appear similar to known herbs, but most are completely unrecognizable. Botanists have tried matching them to real species with no success. Others believe they're fantasy plants, made up by the author, or they may be composites. Leaves from one species, roots from another, flowers from a third. But why would someone create a book of imaginary plants? One popular theory is that the manuscript is a guide to alchemy. The strange plant drawings, combined with zodiac symbols and women bathing in fluids, point toward rituals, transformation, and hidden knowledge. Alchemists often use coded language and cryptic imagery to protect their secrets. Could the Voynich Manuscript be a hidden manual of transformation, a guide to eternal life, or the Philosopher's Stone? If so, it may be the most valuable alchemical book ever written, or the most elaborate fake. Another section of the book contains astrological diagrams. There are zodiac signs, Pisces, Cancer, Taurus, Scorpio, surrounded by concentric circles and figures. Many of the diagrams contain naked women holding stars. Some pages show them in bathtubs connected by tubes or pipes. Astrological medicine was widely practiced in medieval Europe. Could the manuscript be a calendar of rituals or a guide to the stars? Or is it simply symbolic, representing stages of life, energy flow, or spiritual transformation? One of the most visually arresting aspects of the manuscript is a depiction of female figures, many of them nude, bathing in tubs, holding stars, or floating through strange pipes. Some theorists believe this could be a manual on women's health, a sort of 15th century gynecological or fertility guide. Others say it's ritualistic, perhaps describing spiritual purification, reincarnation, or even mystical rebirth. The meaning is buried in mystery, but the presence of these figures suggests the manuscript had a deeply symbolic or esoteric purpose. Some skeptics claim the manuscript is just a hoax, a random collection of made-up words. But statistical analysis tells a different story. Voynich has the hallmarks of a real language. Word frequency follows Zipf's law, like natural languages. Words cluster in logical ways. There are apparent prefixes, suffixes, and grammatical structures. No known hoax from the 15th century comes close to this level of linguistic sophistication. If it's nonsense, it's the most elaborate nonsense ever written. Still, some believe the manuscript is an elaborate medieval hoax, a scam to sell a mystical book to a rich patron like Emperor Rudolph II. Its strange plans and cryptic text would have made it appear valuable and rare. But that theory doesn't explain the manuscript's linguistic structure, length, or consistent handwriting. Creating it would have taken years, a very long time to spend on a con. Could someone really go to such lengths for a prank? With the rise of modern technology, new tools have entered the game. Artificial intelligence models have scanned and analyzed the Voynich manuscript. Some researchers claim the manuscript might be an encoded version of Hebrew, Latin, or even an extinct dialect. Others suggest the words could be phonetic representations, a kind of early shorthand. Yet despite hundreds of studies, no solid translation has emerged. The manuscript continues to resist modern science, just as it baffled ancient scholars. Could the manuscript be art? Some scholars suggest the book was never meant to be read. Instead, it may be an artistic expression, a surreal masterpiece from a medieval genius. Its strange illustrations and poetic script could be designed to evoke curiosity and awe. Not every masterpiece is meant to be understood. Maybe the Voynich manuscript is a visual poem, a puzzle without a solution. Today, the Voynich manuscript has become a pop culture icon. It appears in novels, video games, movies, and conspiracy theories. Artists, musicians, and authors draw inspiration from its haunting beauty and indecipherable text. It is more than a book. It's a symbol of humanity's eternal quest to know the unknowable. And in that sense, it has succeeded completely. The original manuscript is kept at Yale University, where it's carefully preserved in climate-controlled conditions. But thanks to modern scanning, anyone can view it online. Every page is available in high-resolution scans. Anyone, anywhere in the world, can now attempt to solve the mystery. And people do. Every year, new amateur cryptographers, linguists, and curious minds join the hunt. The search is far from over. The Voynich Manuscript isn't just a curiosity. It's a challenge to everything we know. In a world overflowing with data, here's something that remains beyond our reach. It reminds us that some mysteries can survive centuries. And maybe that's the point. Maybe it's not about solving the puzzle. Maybe it's about what the puzzle reveals about us. So what is the Voynich Manuscript? A lost language? A medieval alchemical guide? A coded message? An elaborate prank? Or something else entirely? One thing is certain. It will continue to haunt, inspire, and confound anyone who dares to open its pages. What do you think it is? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoy unraveling the world's most fascinating mysteries, don't forget to like this video, share it with fellow mystery lovers, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the unknown. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a journey into history's greatest enigmas. Until next time, stay curious. And remember, the past still holds secrets.